Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and this is your driver ratings and team ratings to the Dutch Grand Prix. All teams and drivers covered as I rate them out of 10 for their performances over the weekend. Also, we have the fastest lap, best driver of the weekend, worst driver of the weekend, team of the weekend, and worst team of the weekend. So, right, let's start off with. Well, I think there's only one man we should start off with, as it's his home Grand Prix. Max 10. I mean, it's got to be a 10, hasn't it? Pole position in qualifying. P1 in the race. Just dominance. What more can be said? I'm running out of words to describe Max. Unbelievable. Sergio Perez, 5. Yes, I give Sergio Perez a 5. I mean, qualifying, he's about 1.3 seconds off his teammate, which that's nowhere near good enough. In the race, made a very bold call. Coming for intermediates is the right thing to do. Was overtaking everyone, took the lead, but then Max just closed in on him. And then Checo put it. He went off the track. He hit the wall going into the pit lane. And then obviously, speeding in the pit lane. So, that's a bit of a disaster for Sergio Perez in the end. He's got to up it, seriously. He's under enormous pressure. Charles Leclerc, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, wow. P9 in qualifying because he damaged his car. Then in the race, retired due to floor damage. But, Leclerc was a bit off it all weekend. You got to feel sorry for him, though, because I actually really like Leclerc. I think he does an outstanding job for Ferrari, but it is a very poor weekend for him this weekend, honestly. Carlos Sainz, 8. Did very well in qualifying, and then P5 in the race. He kept my driver, Lewis Hamilton, at bay. Fantastic overtaking and fantastic defending by the smooth operator. He had Charles Leclerc's number all weekend, did Carlos Sainz. So, that was a very good performance by Carlos Sainz. Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, 6. Yes, I give both the Mercedes drivers a 6. I mean, Lewis Hamilton, he had a disaster in qualifying, my driver. Got knocked out in Q2, started P13, but obviously I don't think traffic helps, but overall he just could not get it together in Q2, so that's why he started P13, then in the race P6. I mean, Mercedes' strategy was weird, George Russell, he took the lead first of all, but then obviously when the rain started falling, Perez overtook him on the intermediates, and both the Mercedes just went backwards. It's like they got their strategy completely wrong. Good recovery. George Russell, he started to P3. Unfortunately, he made contact with Lando Norris, picked up a puncture. I think he retired, but he was still classified, so I think that means he still only had 2 DNFs this season, but that's a shame for George Russell, that really was, because he had my driver's number all weekend. He was doing fantastic, George Russell. He needed that, because first half of the season he's very, very disappointing, so that's a perfect way to bounce back for George Russell. McLaren, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, 7. Lando Norris, P2 in qualifying, then in the race, McLaren had a bit of a difficult race, so it's a bit of a struggle for both Norris and Oscar Piastri, but Norris near the end of the race was very fast. Seems like Oscar Piastri, just qualifying, he dropped off, and then during the race, McLaren just didn't really have the pace, but overall it's decent still by Oscar Piastri. Alpine, Pierre Gasly, 10. Yes, I give Pierre Gasly a 10. I mean, wow, he's on the podium. One of my subscribers was at Sandscourts, Techman, to see the Dutch Grand Prix, and he saw his Kmag driver get on the podium. That's incredible, honestly. Wow, that is some going. You go now to watch a Kmag driver get a podium, and he must have loved the atmosphere in the Dutch crowds. That just hearing that on the TV, wow, the Orange Party. Esteban Ocon 6. Yes, again, Esteban Ocon the 6. Qualifying was decent. P11 in the race. Very angry when he seen me put on the hard tyres because he wanted to go on the full, wet tyres. He wanted to go on intermediates, but the team put him on full wet, so he was not happy about that. So yeah, a bit angry had seen there as I knock on. Liam Lawson, 8. Yes, I give Liam Lawson an 8. I think it's a solid debut weekend. He qualified last, which was to be expected really. Thrown in the car at such a short notice because Daniel Ricciardo unfortunately injured his hand and broken a metatarsal in his hand, but hopefully that will heal quite quickly. We'll see him back very soon, but a brilliant debut for Liam Lawson. He kept it out on the wall and finished ahead of 1-for-1 Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda, 1-for-1, 8. Yes, I give Yuki Tsunoda an 8. In the race, he was doing fantastic, but AlphaTauri left him hung out to dry, ran out at tyres, just the grip levels was getting overtaken by everyone, so that's why unfortunately he finished quite low down in the end. But AlphaTauri been shocking this year, and they really have. Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso, 9. Yes, I give Fernando Alonso a 9. I think in qualifying it was P6 in qualifying, then P2 in the race. Just brilliant by Fernando Alonso, honestly. Lance Stroll, 3. Nowhere near good enough. I mean, just your teammate is on the podium and you're finishing outside the points. It's just, he is well and truly out his depth, is Lance Stroll. Not good enough. And he's on about retiring soon and moving to another motorsport or being maybe a tennis player or something. Maybe that's the best thing for him because he's nowhere near good enough for F1. It's as simple as that. Alfa Romeo, Valtteri Bottas, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, shocking. As I record this today on Monday, it's Valtteri Bottas' birthday, so we say a very big happy birthday to Valtteri Bottas. He is 34 today, so yeah, I hope he has a great day, but this weekend's nowhere near good enough. Guan Yu Zhou, 5. Now, Guan Yu Zhou was actually doing really well in the race, but then unfortunately crashed into the barriers and retired on the race, which that was such a shame, honestly. Haas, Kevin Magnussen, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, for this driver to be given a new contract this soon is absolutely well and truly beyond me. It seems like a ridiculous idea by Haas. He is nowhere near good enough recently, and his driving is absolutely so erratic. He got a black and white flag for weaving on the straights. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous driving by Kevin Magnussen. It really is. And why Haas are getting him a new contract, I have no idea why. It's like Haas, they've not got the ambition to process as a team, have they? They're keeping Kmag on for another year. Nico Hulkenberg, 3. Yes, I mean, bit of a disappointing weekend for Nico Hulkenberg, really. Obviously, he schooled Kmag in qualifying, Nico Hulkenberg, but then in the race just really struggled. So this is a problem with Haas. They just cannot seem to get their tires right, unfortunately. Williams, Alex Albon, 10. Yes, I give Alex Albon a 10. P4 in qualifying, P8 in the race. Just he stayed out for a long time on a set of soft tyres. Just done outstanding, honestly. What a performance by Alex Albon. To me, he's been driver of the season. If it wasn't Kmag's doing so well, I believe Alex Albon would get driver of the season. Absolutely unbelievable performance by Alex Albon. Logan Sargent, 0, absolutely 0. But there are positives in Logan Sargent, you know. He got into Q3 for the first time ever, but unfortunately in Q3 he binned it, did damage to the car. Then in the race again, he binned it, did damage to the car, and retired. I mean, he's got the potential, Logan Sargent, but he's just costing Williams too much money in damages, which is why I believe he should be replaced. Honestly, he's nowhere near good enough for F1 is Logan Sargent. The potential's there, but he just makes too many errors and mostly costing my third favourite team, Williams, an absolute fortune on repairs and that. So, yeah, this is why he needs to be replaced. Team ratings. Red Bull, 9. Yes, I give Red Bull a 9. I mean, P1 for Max and Checo obviously picks up some decent points, so not the best of performances again by Sergio Perez. Ferrari, 6. I mean, you got to mark my team down. What on earth was that all about when Charles Leclerc was coming into the pit lane? He made a call to come in and Ferrari didn't have the tires ready. And I looked back at that incident, the more I see it, the more pissed off I feel. A mechanic was just literally walking along with the intermediate tyre. It's like, get fucking sprinting and put it on Leclerc's car, for God's sake. What the fuck are you doing? Leclerc was just there waiting, hopeless. He could do absolutely nothing. And that Ferrari mechanic was just walking with the intermediate tyre. Get on the bloody car, why don't you? Dear me, honestly, my team. Why on earth do I follow my own team? But I do, because I love them. I'm in it for a long game, obviously. Honestly, I'm in it for the long haul. Whether if we become the worst team on the grid or best team on the grid, I am here for the journey. Mercedes, 7. Yes, I mean, Lewis Hamilton picks up some decent points, so real unlucky for George Russell. McLaren, 7. Qualifying really good, so in the race they just petered away. Alpine, 8. Gasly, fantastic. Ocon, very angry at his team. AlphaTauri, 7. I thought their performance was really good, but unfortunately no points again. Aston, 8. Fernando Alonso, superb. Lance Stroll, useless. Alfa Romeo, 6. Yes, I give Alfa Romeo a 6. I mean, just Guan Yu Zhou was doing so well, and then unfortunately he binned it, retired, and Bottas was nowhere. Haas, high, by average, nothing special by them. And Williams, 8. Alex Albon, superb. Logan Sargent did well to get into Q3, but unfortunately damaged the car and retired on the race. That's the team ratings done. Fastest lap, Fernando Alonso, 1 minute 13.837. Star in the race, Max. Worst driver of the weekend, Kmag. Team of the weekend, Red Bull. Worst team of the weekend, Haas. So that's it. Driver ratings done. Team ratings done for the Dutch Grand Prix. We move on to the red party next at Monza. I don't think it's going to be much of a party for the team, unfortunately, but for the Tifosi, they will be partying away, honestly. Get ready for that red party. I cannot wait for that, but unfortunately, I may miss the sprint race live and the main race live, because I'm seeing family in Bournemouth. You know, I'm having the weekend away in Bournemouth, but I'll still do a preview to the Monza Grand Prix, but I may not be able to do a review to sprint race, but I'll definitely still do a review to the main race. Comment your thoughts down below, I will always reply, but driver ratings and team ratings I'll definitely be doing still. So, but I'll keep you updated via the community tab. If you do follow my community tab, I'll be posting updates on there. Thank you very much for watching. Comment your thoughts down below, I will always reply. And the Dutch army had a wild party. I mean, the atmosphere, just seeing it on the TV, it was great. Just imagine you were there in person. It'd be electric. Bye-bye.